So, recently I went to watch Birmingham Phoenix play Trent Rockets at Edgbaston, which was a really good day out. I enjoyed it. My dad enjoyed it as well. Um, yeah, so without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I think looking at the games I watched, I was only planning to watch the men's game and give the women's game a miss, but thinking about it, the women played better than the men in a sense that the women's game was far more entertaining than the men's game. But that may have been because in at the women's game the tempo was up there, and by the time the men's game was on, the tempo was like down there, and it's difficult to recreate that sort of tempo. Like, and for me, it's just one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy watching the men play as much as I enjoyed the women's game far more. Like, I think the concept of the 100 is interesting. Like, score the 100 because it has 100 balls, and I'm aware it's been criticised by many, but it's something different for casual fans. Like, for me, the 100 is for people who watch cricket sometimes, but not always. So by sometimes, I mean like people that may watch the odd World Cup match here or there, whether that may be in the ODI or T20. Like, yeah, those type of casual fans that don't really watch Test cricket or county cricket. Yeah, those are the type of fans that the 100 is for. Or if you're a staunch cricket fan, you may still enjoy the 100 or not. I don't really know. Thinking about the entertainment, there was some music going on in between games, but for me, I felt that some of the entertainment away from the cricket was a bit forced. Like, um, there was this guy whose name escapes me singing, and was being like, "Yeah, come on," and the crowd was just there like, "Yeah," and I just think to myself, like, this entertainment stuff, it's a bit forced. Like, I understand that you're trying to get get the crowd pumped, but look, it's not working. It's just not working. And I wish I had footage to show you, but I actually don't. But oh well. I think going back to discussing the games itself, I noticed one thing, that women play to entertain and men play to win. And it's got me thinking that maybe men take sport a bit too seriously. Like, the 100, for me, I'm not going to take it as a serious tournament, as I don't think the 100 is the future of cricket. But I just think that men take it a bit too seriously. As watching the men's Birmingham Phoenix versus Trent Rockets, it was like Trent Rockets were playing in do not lose mode, and I just thought to myself, like, yeah, you got to take this far too seriously. Like, this is the 100. It's not the World Cup final. Like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, honestly, that that's something that came to mind. That maybe men take sport too seriously, and they should like just take a back seat and actually entertain the crowd, like what the women's teams did. Because I actually enjoyed watching the women's Phoenix versus Rockets far more. Thinking about the rivalry, it's not really a rivalry as such, is it? Okay, you have Birmingham Phoenix in the West Midlands, Birmingham, and you have Trent Rockets, who are from Nottingham, from the East Midlands. And for me, it's not a real rivalry, is it? Because they're two like different Midland sides. Like, if there was another team from the West Midlands, then yeah, maybe that would be like a proper rivalry. But I'm, I mean, it's a derby because they're both in the Midlands. But as a rivalry, I'm, I'm not too convinced. Like, it's a manufactured rivalry, and you'll see this in leagues such as the MLS, where you already have Columbus Crew, and now there's FC Cincinnati, and you already have LA Galaxy, and then you have LAFC. So, so yeah, for me, it's not a real rivalry, but it is what it is. Now, thinking about the future of this tournament, which is good, which I think is in rude health, I've been thinking to myself whether it would make sense to have men's and women's tournaments in alternating years. Because I think to myself, like, it's often difficult to recreate the same tempo that was for the women's game, for the men's game. And I'll just reiterate my thoughts on the men's game was that by the time the men's was playing, I mean, not just me, I'm sure everyone else in the stadium felt a little like lower in comparison to watching the women's game. And for me, that was a problem. And I thought to myself that maybe it may be a good idea to have men's tournament one year and then the women's tournament another year, and then it alternates thereafter. Because I think organisers, they've tried to do the tennis thing where you have men's and women's events on the same day, but for me, it just hasn't worked. It really hasn't worked. Like, I appreciate the organisers for like trying something different, but for me, it hasn't worked, honestly. One more thing I'd like to talk about is the final. Now, since 2021, the first season, the final has been staged at Lords. And I just thought to myself that you've done the thing where the final is always staged in London. That's what other sports in England do. Like, the FA Cup final is always staged in London because it's traditional. Like, why wouldn't you stage an FA Cup final in London? Well, except from 2001 to 2006, where it also staged at Millennium Stadium because Wembley was being rebuilt. But yeah, I've gone off on a tangent, but I'll come back to cricket now. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the final being held in Lords. I just think to myself, like, the hundreds didn't really need to follow what other finals in England do by staging the final in London. Like, why not do the NFL thing and stage the final across the country? That makes sense. Like, don't just have the final at Lords. Like, have the final at the Oval, for instance. You could have the final staged in Edgbaston or Manchester or Southampton. I mean, and I find it really disappointing that the final is always staged at Lords. And for me, that's just a bit meh. Like, I think in future years, though, I'd like to see the final being held across the country. Like, maybe one year a final, the men's final, could be staged at Lords, but the women's final could be staged somewhere like, I don't know, Edgbaston or Nottingham. You know what I mean? Like, don't just copy what other finals do. Like, have the final staged across the country each year, because for me, that's it's something different to to what other sports do. Okay, final thing now. Would I go to another 100 game? Um, yes, I would, because I really enjoyed the game. But on entertainment factor, again, yes, I would. No, no buts about it. But where would I go? Hmm. Well, considering I'm from Birmingham, would I go to another Birmingham Phoenix game? You know what? I would. They they seem quite exciting, so why not? I wouldn't mind going to an away game though. Like I wouldn't mind going to see Trent Rockets or Manchester Originals or Southern Brave. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to an away game because I really enjoyed myself. Right, okay, but this is the over to you section now. So, what are your thoughts on the 100? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Um, what what would you change about the 100 if if you could? Uh, one more thing. A few years ago, I wrote an article about the formats of the 100 and how I would format for tournaments. So I'll put that article in the description